my name is Allie Schmidt. This is my dad, Dan. He owns Caitlin's Glass.
Thanks, Allie. Things like doors and windows go into making a house. But when it's your home, you expect more, like the great service and selection you'll get from Caitlin's Glass. Vinyl replacement windows from Caitlin's come with a lifetime warranty, including accidental glass breakage replacement. Also ask for custom shower doors and many other products and services. Call 962-1636, locally owned with local employees for nearly 30 years.
Caitlin's Glass, the clear choice.
I want to share something that's become a big part of the BeTempered mission, Patreon. Now, if you've never used it before, Patreon is a platform where we can build community together. It's not just about supporting the podcast. It's about having a space where we can connect on a deeper level, encourage one another, and walk this journey of faith, resilience, and perseverance side by side. Here's how it works. You can join as a free member and get access to daily posts, behind-the-scenes updates, encouragement, and some things I don't always put out on other platforms. And if you feel called to support the mission financially, there are different levels where you can do that too. That support helps us keep producing the podcast, creating gear, hosting events, and sharing stories that we believe can truly impact lives. And here's the cool part. Patreon has a free app you can download right on your phone. It works just like Facebook or Instagram, but it's built specifically for our community. You'll be able to scroll through posts, watch videos, listen to content, and interact with others who are on the same journey. At the end of the day, this isn't just about content, it's about connection. It's about building something together, not just me and Ben putting out episodes, but a family of people committed to growing stronger through real stories and real faith. So whether you just want to hop on as a free member or you feel called to support in a bigger way, Patreon is the door into that community. Because at the heart of BeTempered has always been simple, real stories, raw truth, resilient faith, so that even one person out there that hears what they need to hear, and Patreon helps make that possible.
Welcome to the BeTempered podcast, where we explore the art of finding balance in a chaotic world.
Join us as we delve into insightful conversations, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience.
We're your host, Dan Schmidt and
Ben Spahr.
Let's embark on a journey to live our best lives.
This is BeTempered.
I don't want to hijack anything because my story is the Lord's story.
Yep.
In his work in us.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, we are all beautifully, wonderfully made, but we're also incredibly broken people. And this is a process, right? Life is a process. There's no finished product. And, you know, you talk about, just sharing stories and that's ideal. That's what we're after. Stories are still written.
Yeah.
Right. And we're not done. We are still very much hurt and broken and this life is cruel and unfair. And, I have every reason to be a wonderful father. And why is that not happening? Right. Right. Why did this happen to us is incredibly not fair. And you get better, or you get bitter.
Right.
Right. So we've chosen to get better, but there's still, and I say we a lot, my wife and I are a team and all that. Yeah. So that's, I just don't want to hijack anything because, and you'll hear if I get prompted right. I mean, oh,
that's pressure on me.
No. What I'm saying is, my personality is so different than it was a decade ago.
Right.
Okay. Everything that the happy and the jovial and the all the accolades from high school and college and all that. That's all wonderful. And I mean, I'm still that person in some circles, but my heart has been literally brain, heart, the whole thing is different now.
Right.
Tempered, if you will.
I love it.
Tempered. You ever heard of it? Let me tell you about what tempering is. Let me tell you what tempering does to glass.
Can I drop this mic?
Can I share what that means?
I love it. So we're going to have to start there, Kevin. Got it? Let's rock and roll. You know the number?
87.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the BeTempered podcast, episode number
87. I don't think it flowed.
It did not flow.
I tried.
Hey, today on the BeTempered podcast, I'm truly honored to welcome Mike Derringer, a leader, an educator, and a man whose life story carries both purpose and profound perspective. Mike serves as the superintendent of the Preble County Educational Service Center, where he works closely with schools, educators, and communities to support students and help them thrive. His heart for kids, for education, and for doing what's right for families is evident in the way he leads and the way he serves our community. But beyond his professional role, Mike's story runs much deeper. Mike and his wife have walked through significant loss, tragedy, and grief. Experiences that have shaped their faith, strengthened their marriage, and redefined what it means to love, persevere, and keep moving forward when life doesn't make sense. Their journey is one marked by honesty, resilience, and a quiet strength that comes from choosing hope, even in the hardest seasons. What's especially powerful about Mike's story is how he and his wife have allowed pain to become purpose, not turning inwards, but outwards, using their experiences to support, encourage, and walk alongside others who are navigating their own season of loss, doubt, and heartbreak. This is a conversation about faith in the valleys, love inside suffering, the strength of a marriage tested by life's hardest moments, and what it looks like to keep showing up for your family, your calling, and the people around you. Mike, thank you for your leadership, your humility, and your willingness to share your journey. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. I've listened about the past 5 or 6 months, just not every episode, but it's really nice to even just with Tyler last week, and he kept talking about people that have sat in this chair, right? So it's nice to be a part of this community, and appreciate what you all do. The message of tempering, of having that fire and being stronger on the other side is worth promoting.
Yeah.
So really, thanks for what you guys do. Appreciate it.
We appreciate the support, and we appreciate you, your willingness to come up here and to share your story, because it's powerful. And I didn't know all of it, and I still don't know all the ins and outs of it, but we had a conversation a week or two ago, and I was like, wow, man, like you are exactly what this mission is about. It's about going through the fire, trying to get better because of it, and then sharing it with others. So You know how we like to start every podcast. We like to start from the beginning. So talk about what life was like for you growing up as a kid.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Upper middle class, farm family. Mom and dad still together. Nearly everybody in the family's together. Little sister Kathy's a couple years younger than me. Just 2003 graduate of National Trail. Class president, voted most likely to succeed, all that yucky stuff that matters a lot then. And again, the theme for some of this, all the leadership stuff, it matters. It matters because the title, right? It's one thing, and that's just the bottom rung, right? And a lot of people stay there. And that stuff mattered a lot when I was younger. It did. And but had a, we'll get to it, but that those titles, those positions, those are just platforms, right? And it's what you do with that when you are in the moment, right? What you do with that, with the blessings and the gifts that the Lord gave you. So He gave me a pretty good personality. He gave me that's how I got married my wife, because it's certainly not from my looks. I got a great personality, and that's certainly good enough. But no, I had a great upbringing. Production family farm, right there on Shying there. Mom and dad always instilled some good values, I think, and I'll just keep growing on that. And that's from their parents and their parents and their parents before that. Really enjoyed being outside. Still do. Couple role models. Joe Sloan's one of them. National Trail High School. Ag education instructor, right? And instilled in me that love. I always loved agriculture and I loved education. Mom was at school there at Trail. Grandpa drove bus. There's just so many ties to education. Uncle Bill was a county superintendent for quite a while, and a principal before that. So I was always going to do something in education. And my love for agriculture, I just kind of blended them together and went to Ohio State the Ohio State University for agricultural education, and met my wife there, and then came back home and all that. Had a great college career there at Ohio State for my undergrad. Then have been a couple different places getting masters and degrees and more, more things to keep your superintendent license. So there's always classes to take, unfortunately, but just really enjoyed the ability to learn. I'm a lifelong learner. I think that's important. You really can't be stagnant in your ways with regards to what it is that you're trying to do and trying to improve on yourself. And if you just kind of stay in neutral, that's not great. And that's never been something that I do. So we tried to do a lot of things growing up with raising pigs, and it was one of my hobbies, and just bought our forever home here, last December now. So starting to do all that now, have our first litters on the ground here coming soon. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, excited for that. Kind of full circle moments on some things.
I want to stop you for a second.
Yeah.
I'd like to back up to Joe Sloan a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Can you spend a little time on Joe, the man that he was, and why he influenced you in such a strong, profound manner? Yeah.
And I taught ag for 13 years there at Talawanda and Ridgewood before that. And I modeled myself after who you don't want to, you say you don't want to meet your heroes sometimes, right? But when you're a high school kid, and that's, he's just a man, right? And we're all just men, and we're broken and flawed, and we're so many things, right? But in that moment, I mean, what he was able to do with me is, I heard from my whole life how great I am, right? You got this, Mike, you're, a student, everybody likes you, you're destined for greatness. You're going to, you are Mr. Preble County, for some of these people, right? Preble Pig Kid, right? Is my AI messenger name, right? So very, very good stuff. All the things that you want from a high schooler, and Joe didn't care about any of that at all. He pushed me as a human being. There's some good coaches out there as well, but I was never gifted physically to do a lot of the good sports stuff. I mean, I liked playing. I knew I was never going to be a star athlete. Have to use my brain to get through a lot of this. And what Joe was able to do is truly was able to motivate me more than I was in the Scouts, so I was an Eagle Scout. So got that part going. Got 4-H president. All the stuff, right? That it looks like stuff now as a 40-year-old guy. But at the time, of course you're junior fair board president, that's just what you're supposed to do, Mike, right? All the things that you're supposed to do. Joe didn't care about any of that. Joe pushed me to be better than I was because I could do it, right? And I didn't see it in myself. It was just very easy for me to, just roll it out there and be great in high school, or roll it out there and be great in middle school. And what he was able to do was find that motivation piece to push me farther than I thought I could go. And I'll always thank him for that. And I'll thank him for my career, to get going in those first couple of years. And he died pretty quickly, pretty suddenly, before we ever really got a chance to teach together. Right. And my first teaching job, I was in Eastern Ohio near the Zanesville area, in Coshocton. Beautiful country. Love it there. And he was obviously there at Trail. And then when I moved back, I got a good job there at Talawanda. And when I started there, that's about when he got pretty quick there. So, and actually the first person that was teaching after Joe was my wife, who was a long-term sub there at Trail. So just an incredible full circle moment on that. And you just see where the Lord kind of places things. And that was really neat to see. I carried his casket, right? I carried the casket for my ag teacher, one of the more influential fellows in my life. And that was a lot. But he was able to instill, nothing wrong with anybody else, mom and dad, and ran a lot of good coaches, and a lot of people in my life that supported, right? But Joe pushed.
Right.
And sometimes you need pushed, right? I think everybody needs to seek that out if we haven't done so. Find someone that can push you, right? And then as a high schooler, like, oh, I don't have to just roll it out for this guy. I got to make myself better, right? And not just for the affirmation, but he sees something in me that was pretty wild. And he also knew where not to push, right? Because my high school gig and my lane that I could be in was different than other people's, right? I was not farm enough for some of the things that we needed to do in the ag education classroom. So in all that, so we pushed the leadership development, right? And I was a state FFA officer because of that pushing, right? And then going to traveling all across Ohio within that year after, and just, promoting FFA and agricultural education. And that turned into my career, which is pretty wild. And those connections that I made throughout that experience helped me get my good first job and become a leader in the profession there for those long time I was there. Won some awards, certainly, for young education and some of that, but that's all because of that pushing from Joe, really, because no one was pushing me to where I needed to be pushed.
Everybody was telling you you're doing a great job.
Honestly, and looking back on it now, I mean, it's high school, right? But it matters a lot in the moment, right? And I didn't think I was going to come on here and I was going to talk about Joe a lot, but here I am, and we're talking what I appreciate from him, and what I hope he's proud of me now, if he saw me, and I hope that he would, and the legacy that he's helped create, not just here in this community, but across the state and a couple of places in the nation, really. Just a lot of his students have gone on to do a lot of really great things, and he'd call them his students, right? And the good ag teachers, those are their kids, right? Those are their kids. Yeah. So that's
well. Thanks for sharing that. I just know what an impact and a mentor he was for you, and I just wanted people to hear that. It wasn't because he told you how great you were; it was because he told you, "Hey, you're not that great. You're not that special. We're going to push you a little further to be even better."
Exactly
because
what
there's
it was.
More in you.
Yeah. What an honor to be able to carry his casket too. I mean,
yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it was. And again, there was a couple of us, but it was nice to. I remember that. I distinctly remember that. That's something you don't want to do. A lot of things you don't want to do with regards to death and all that, and just the notion of being there for the in this case his son and daughter, but just to be have the ability to give back in just a small way was important.
Yeah.
So you go to Ohio State, you graduate from Ohio State, you meet are you married in school, out of school when you get
We got married just after.
After school.
We weren't engaged in college, so to speak, but she went to go have her first teaching job in Wyandotte County, and I went to go have my first, so that's up there, and I went to go have my first teaching job over here in Zanesville, Coshocton area. So that was a 2.5 hour drive for the year and a half there. And then we got married after that, and literally lived in double wide trailer up in the holler in Coshocton, Ohio. Beautiful area. Got so many good friends there still. We did that for a couple of years, and then I got the call to because I was always looking, right? You pour into that profession as much as you can, build really great relationships, had a really great program. Program was already very good. You don't have a problem with comparing FFA chapters and comparing program. You can compare football wins and losses. That's a little different, right? With academic education programs, right? Like FFA, like, FCCLA, the career tech, right? There's obviously wins and losses, like with who wins this award or that award. And I get that, but man, the career tech aspect for the community is what really matters, and what it looks like is very different. Everybody knows, what a good football team could look like, right? What is a good program, and what is a good career tech program at this school is what this school needs. And then what's at this school is what this school needs, right? So with that being said, I was a part of a great program at Ridgewood, and I got hired at Talawanda, which was a very great program as well. And I'd like to think I helped make it better over those 9 years I was there. But, that's a suburban school, right? That was in the process of building a brand new school. I helped to move out of the Chestnut Street building, and that's all a parking lot now, then into the new beautiful building that it is now. And it was feather in the cap, I guess, just helping it with that transition. And carrying on what was already a stellar program into what it is, hopefully now, or what it is now, and great leadership that's there in the community, right? That's what it's really about. But there's always good people, right? And regardless of what the platform is, whether it's agricultural education, whether it's any other things, right? That platform is there's always good people, and you got to seek them out. Right. And sometimes they seek you out. Right. But it's the platform, whatever that message is not overly important. Nice. Super smooth. Look at that. Nice. Well, where was I? Like whatever it is that you're doing, right? When you talk, men, sometimes we are defined by our profession, right? And that's the nature of the beast. It doesn't have to be that way, right? That's what you do. That's not who you are. Right. And that's one of the stories that I like to share. What I am, that's what I do. It's not who I am, right? Right. It's what you do. It's what you do. It's not what you are, right? We are children of God. We are husbands. We are fathers. We are leaders. We are the people. We're the straws that stirs the drinks. We are.
That's right.
Right. And we cannot be stagnant. We cannot be. We have an authority and a right to stir the drink. Yep. We're supposed to do so. Yeah. So whatever that looks like in our lives is the important thing, and we got to make that thing the thing. Right. I think too many people are stagnant, and that's a tough one.
And I would say, when you say stagnant, I think of comfort. Yep. Too many people get comfortable in their daily lives, their daily routines, and they get, like, you get stagnant, they get stuck. Yeah. And then they don't know how to get out of it. And I think the power lies in, taking that scary step, whatever that step is, to get out of that comfort zone, to get out of being stagnant. So that's an important point for sure. Which
is why I turned to the dark side, I guess, right? Everybody said, that's the buzzword there, but I loved what I do. And I think that teaching agricultural education was what I was meant to do in that moment and for the longest time. And once you get to a certain spot, and with us, unfortunately, and we'll get to that here soon, I think, but one of us needed to make a career change. So I always kind of felt that push for administration, and that's kind of where we went.
Why did you feel that push? What was pushing you there?
Again, maybe Joe a little bit, but just the idea of, this is great, and this is where we're at, and this is what the rest of this looks like, right? We were coming and going, we still come and go a lot, as the kids have grown up, but we didn't see a lot of each other because a lot of evening commitments, right? A lot of Saturday and Sunday commitments, respectfully, with those that do agricultural education and some of those the things that you should do in the idea of having a program. Right. You should do all three circle models of the three circle model of the program. One of which is the FFA, right, and one of which is SAE, which is the kids' experiences at home, right? So those need visited, those need tracked, and all that. So there's a lot of really a lot of things outside of the classroom that need done, right? So just really, I've always kind of thought about administration because I want to give back, and I miss the kids a lot, right? But being I went and was a good principal, I think. A couple there at Miss Seminole Valley was where I had my first principal's job. Was up there in Darke County for 2 years. Again, the community was beautiful. The staff was very welcoming, and I learned how to be a good administrator up there. Then an opportunity came here in Preble County, and this is where I'm at now, and I'm real happy and when you just said content is not necessarily in a good context, but I feel very at peace in this current role, right? And again, what I hope to be portraying is if I haven't got there yet, I'm sure we will here soon, but I want to portray service, right? Service above self. Yeah. That's the Rotary motto, which is important to me, but the hands open to service is very important, right? We're on this earth for others and to help others come along. We are, right? Love God, love people. That's it. That's it, right? That's it. So I can do that really well in my role currently. I feel like it's kind of custom built for someone like me to help the whole county with regards to certainly academic concerns. There's so many things that ESCs do that are on purpose underneath the radar, that are on purpose, should not be front and center things, right? But it's a really wonderful, unique job, and I'm pretty unique anyway, so it kind of works out pretty well. I'm really content. I mean, and again, I've got 20 some more years to work professionally, and I do see myself doing this kind of work for the rest of this time.
So what makes the ESC different? Because I don't know that a lot of people understand what the ESC does.
Educational Service Center. So all the things that schools need help with is what we help with, right? Whether we have the Success Academy at Preble County. There's 80 kids there that are very difficult for the traditional schools, right? And a lot of it are behavior concerns. A lot of it is, I've got scars on this arm from students at the Success Academy, and that's okay. That's because they're, sometimes sometimes it's what you can see, sometimes what you can't see. Right. A lot of these behaviors have come, like there's students that were born with things in their systems, right? So they can't like sit in a chair for very long. Does that mean they can't have good education? Does that mean they can be a productive citizen? Right? They can be, right? Foster kids, it gets bounced around every 18 months, right? That kid's probably logically, probably might need some more individual care.
Right.
That's what we're here for, right? That's a big part of it. Students in lieu of expulsion. There's great kids in this county that can't lay off a vape pen, right? There's kids they get pregnant too early, right, and they deserve an education, and that's what we do there, right? Mental health is such a big role, is such a big part there, right? A's, B's, that matters a lot, but also matters the whole child, educating the whole child. So we do that at the Success Academy. The MD units, we've got 6 classrooms. Some of them are nonverbal, autistic classrooms throughout the county that need a lot, right? That need a lot. There's, we do a lot of the speech therapy. We do a lot of the behavior coaching, right? We can blame a lot on COVID, but the kids these days are not the kids that we are used to, right? And they're first grade, kindergarten, second grade, preschool now. That's where they're at now, right? And a lot of the schools they're doing the best they can. There's an influx of students now, and they need me. They need the ESC now, right? So there's things like that. We have over 600 kids educated at home instruction or, homeschooling. And the 600 kids are educated.
Isn't that many?
Yeah, 600. Yeah, 600. We need to have tracks on every one of those kids, right? We do the enrichment programs for the county. So I am the voice of the Preble County Spelling Bee, and
my kids love that.
Geography Bee, Spelling Bee, County Art Show, band, county band, all county choir, those things that are the fun part, right? So there's a lot of things that the ESC does, and that's just a small sampling. The things that the schools need individual help with, right? And then the Career Connections program, right? Harold Niehaus and what he does under our guidance throughout the county is beautiful, and it's actually state recognized. So there's a lot of things that we do and on purpose to support the homeschool, right? So that's I get to help everybody.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing. Yeah,
and then the preschool, right?
Oh, certainly, yeah. I didn't even mention preschool. Yeah, we have. We run the preschool for National Trail and for Eaton, and we do the special needs preschools for the county. Yeah. So preschool has well over 150 kids.
So are my youngins at?
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, there's a lot.
Out.
Yeah. Careful. So,
watch out.
Yeah. But yeah, that's we do a lot of things for the county to help raise these children into young men and young women that want to come back and be good taxpayers and be good homeowners and start families here and continue to develop what we're doing. I mean, it's there's a reason, there's a method to the madness. I mean, it starts with a good family at home, certainly, and it starts with education, right? And I think it's blended. It starts with families that respect education. I was fearful of my dad if I got in trouble at school.
Oh yeah.
Right. Fearful. And it's not that much anymore. Right. There's a lot of phone calls about, you looked at my kid different, right? You made my kid feel some kind of way. I'm coming after you. Yeah. Right. And that's the world we live in now.
Instead of taking that ownership.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. So that's a grounded piece that I think that we need more of, respectfully, but there's too many. And again, you hear about the nasty things, right? And there are some nasty people. There's some nasty folks that work in education.
Right.
Certainly, there's nasty folks that work in every profession. Right. Okay. The fact that everybody has been in school before thinks that they know how to be in a school, right? Not everybody, not everybody can be a doctor, right? Not everybody can be some of these other professions, but everybody's been to school. So we know what a teacher should do, and we know what a principal should do, and we certainly know how a superintendent should run a school, right? So the constant scrutiny of public education is a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
What would you say right now is the number one need in Preble County that you deal with every day that you're like, man, if we could just fix this would take care of a lot of other issues?
We need a pediatrician. Need a pediatrician in Preble County. If kids are healthy, right? If kids are healthy, they can come to school. They can stay at school. We have a lot of parents that can't come pick their kids up if they are unhealthy. We have some parents that have to send sick kids to school because parents have to go to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we fix that mindset, if we have an opportunity for students to be healthier, right? Their attendance will improve, certainly. Their academics will likely improve. Their community, the engagement of their school would certainly be better as well, right? We need a place to do that. Our Success Academy, we rent that building. There's been some good talks about what could happen if we own the building, or if the county or if someone owns that building, and we could do all the things, right? That this county truly needs all in one facility, right? That's a big need.
Yeah.
That's a big need. You look around at these broken homes and these broken families, and they're broken because the resources are out of county, right? It's hard for people that are trying to make their lives better if they can't get to work.
Right.
Or if why is your kid struggling? Why is your kid struggling? I don't have enough food to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that's in Eaton, guys, but that's also in West Elkton. That's in New Paris. That's in all the places. And one of the tougher things to comprehend, everybody says, well, why don't we just do this or this and this? It's a logistical thing, right? We have to go out of county for so many services in Preble County, right? And the fact that we're a small county in population should not be the indicator of we should have small service in Preble County. Okay. If we take care of our kids, when we take care of our kids, if we as a community dedicate time to take care of our kids, those kids grow up.
Yeah.
And those kids stay in the community, hopefully, right?
Right.
Those kids have jobs in the community because jobs are going to be created, housing is going to be created, and you everything works so much better in a community if the schools are supported, right? If the schools are supported and if the children in the schools are supported, that's what it's about, right? Now, that's how you cultivate a community. Is you work with the kids, and you give those kids you want to be. Oh, you want to be like how Kettering is, right? Kettering's a great example, right? Very affluent, all the things, right? They invest in their school.
That's right.
Invest in the school, and then the kids in the school, and then everything trickles out of that.
Yeah.
Right. That's where we're at. That's where we need to be.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt you're a leader in the community. There's no doubt where your heart is. So, that's a snippet of your career to this point.
Sure.
Now I want to backtrack a little bit.
One thing real quick though.
Go ahead.
You kept coming back to we were talking about complacent and being like comfort. And you're like, well, I'm complacent, but you could tell complacent in this place is more of the peace that you talked about. This is where you're at. And then as soon as we started talking about ESC and everything you do, you just see your eyes light up and just I don't know. You can just tell that's where you're supposed to be.
And it's wild, right? I mean, I wanted to teach kids how to judge soil, right? And this is what you're looking for, and you're looking at a market hog, right? And here's 4 ways to amend a motion, right? These are and I love it, and I still get to live it. My wife teaches ag there at Twin Valley South, so we still get to help with a lot of those things. Man, I'd love to be able to do more. It was what I wanted to do for the longest time. And then you just realize that you can still do those things that you liked, you can still do, but here's in this role. And then, it takes some knocking on the head, and the Lord put me in this role now, and the doors have been open to where it has to be me. Right. Because I'm to the point now where this is, we're developing staff, and we are developing the county. Right. We're doing a lot of behavior coaching. Mm-hmm. We're doing a lot of truly expanded services so that our county schools are improving. So the kids in this county are improving. We should want to go to school, not we have to go to school. Right. Because I have an attendance officer we'll send after you. But no, we want to do it. I guess to finish that one up, it should be, education should be something that we want, right? So many kids don't most kids don't realize that. They're in middle school, they're in high school. Like, okay, just go to school. It's what you do. It's what you do. Right. But there's so many parts of this world where what an honor it is to have education.
Right.
What an honor to have education. What an honor to ask why questions, right? Not being indoctrinated, but asking, well, why is it this way? And having meaningful conversations, things like what, just had Tyler on last week. That's the last one I watched.
Yeah.
It's the last one I've watched, but the, what he's doing is a great example of asking those and having kids having the ability to ask questions back, right? This is the answer, so let's figure this out together.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's the world that we live in now, but we're so blessed to have the opportunity to ask those questions. In a lot of parts of this world, don't get to ask those questions.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be an American. It's an honor to live in this country where we have the freedoms to ask those questions. And then I really believe that it happens. The best way to do that is at home, certainly. Mm-hmm. And what you learn at home with mom and dad, in theory, or grandma, grandpa, or whoever those influential people are. But man, so much time of those formative years are spent in school, right? So man, we got to get it right there. We got to get it right at school.
And how do you get kids to want to follow you? You have to have somebody in charge that's that passionate.
Sure.
Like that.
Hope so.
That's like you hear, and you can tell I love it.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's your career right now to date. And I love the passion and the enthusiasm. There's no doubt that you care.
I get to help everybody.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's amazing. I want to back up a little bit though on your family.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point in time, you're married, you get married and you decide you want to have a family. Mm-hmm. Talk about that journey. Yeah.
We got married in 2009. Had Miranda in 2012. Perfect. Whatever perfect looks like, she was she is truly the apple of my eye, my oldest daughter. She's 13 now and 7th grader at National Trail, kind of getting into all the things. She's gone through the things that I went through, but in a girl form. So I don't know any idea what's going on, but I think I know, but I have no idea. And she's got a great mom and that's how that goes. And, so I don't have much else to say on that, but, Miranda was and still is just a wonderful human and is destined for greatness. She is destined for greatness. And I hope to be just a small part of allowing that greatness to the Lord to work into her, so that the greatness can come out of her. Right. And, that's my prayer. That's my hope. And that's what we want to do. So, we kept going and, 2015 rolls around. Like, let's do this again. Well, 14, then into 2015 and things were very different from there, Dan. Yeah. So, Audrey Kate, was our second daughter. She was here with us for 6 days. We thought it was, we knew, once we went to that one doctor's appointment that it was very different. It was very different. Not like our first pregnancy at all. What I really wanted to do was be a dad, right? I love being married. Okay. But I want to be a good dad. And it just wasn't in the cards, for that, but you get the opportunity. And again, we can go as detailed as you want, with this, but, not a lot of people can say that they did everything they were supposed to do as a husband or as a father, right? I had 6 days with this beautiful soul and I led that soul back to the Lord. And I gave her to God. Done, right? Father, we did our job, right? However long you have with your children, you just want to be the good dad, right? You want to be a good mom. You want to be the person that can shepherd his sheep, right? And that's, we did that. And again, well, yeah. And again, I went back to my career, I guess, but a lot of the MD students that we have, right? I think that my girls, because we have another one here, but I get to help those kids, right? The severe needs, physical needs kids. I'm real passionate, like Ben said, maybe I'm real passionate about this because I had a couple girls that would have been there. Mm-hmm. Right. So it was 2015. And then, when COVID, all that happened, we had Colleen in between there, and Colleen had a very tough pregnancy, but it didn't look like everything, she came out okay. And, there's some lungs kind of underdeveloped. So yeah, we had to go back to Children's Hospital, where we lost Audrey, and Colleen was there for a couple weeks. Issues.
How did that feel?
Not great. Not great.
I mean, after going through what you went through.
Yeah. And then we were able to bring Colleen home, but then we got pregnant again. And then we had Faith for a day and a half. So I am honored and also disheartened to share that 2 of my children are with the Lord. Okay. They were living, breathing humans that had their eyes open and were, a part of this world. Right. So, my heart has completely hardened and has been broken and hardened again and broken again and hardened and broken again. And it's not anything that you want anyone to know, to have to replicate. Right. I can't imagine people going through this kind of stuff without a faith in Jesus Christ. And it happens all the time. And how broken and how helpless must that be? And I don't do a good enough job about it. And I'm sure we all don't, but we need to share our stories and we need to lead. My story is to tell my story is to tell of him, right? Big Daddy Weave song in 2015, right? This is my story. This is my song praising the Savior all the day long. But the ability to go through this kind of stuff and come out on the other side. There's no other side to come out on, right? And people, there's no page to be turned, right? You grow around your grief, right? The analogy is a big, sharp rock that you keep in your pocket, right? So before 2015, I was very much happy, jovial all the time, right? Personality, like my brain chemistry is different now. I know it is. I have been tempered. It's a glass thing. I'll let you know about it. Okay. But yeah,
I get it.
Okay, good. But I mean, I am changed. I am changed. And it doesn't get easier. You grow around your grief. That big weird rock that you keep in your pocket is different now. It's softened a little bit. It's still there and you don't want it to go away, right? There are, I want to always have my girls at the forefront, all 4 of them. I'm a father of 4, and I'll tell it, I never get to have a complete family picture, but I am a family of 4 girls. Absolutely. We do all the things, right? We've got stuff around the house. My girls know that they've got sisters in heaven, and surely our life would be very different if they were here. And the Lord needed them. And I feel guilty sometimes because I don't talk about them enough, right? You want to carry on legacies and you want to do all the things that you can't, right? But what you can do is you can live because they can't, right? Living is the part in the middle. The opposite of death isn't life. The opposite of death is birth, right? Birth and death. Living is the part in the middle, and we can live. Right? We can do the things and we can experience the things and we can take the chances and we can do the things that are hard and we can do the things that are scary because that's life. And we can make mistakes and grow from them.
Yeah.
Because they can't, right? And that's kind of my mantra. If there's anything, life is what happens now. That's what's going on now, right? Birth and death are the opposites, right? It's what you do here, right? And because they cannot, because Audrey cannot, because Faith cannot, we are going to. And that's kind of where we're at. So it's incredibly cruel that it happened. And it's really cruel that it happened a second time. Unrelated.
Completely unrelated.
Unrelated.
I can't imagine going through that the first time, then having your 3rd daughter and everything works out.
It did.
Right?
It did.
But then can you take us back to that Faith, right? Was she was the 4th?
Yes.
Can you take us back to when you realized that things were a little different?
I was angry. You go through those 5 stages, and anger, I was there for the longest time. There's not as many, not that we seek it out, but it's hard for the men, for the dads, right? Everybody wraps around the woman who's carrying this child, right? Rightfully so. Right. We should be, you put yourself last, right? We're the servants, right? I was very alone. I was angry. Nobody knows how to talk to the guy like that, right? Nobody can. Yeah, that's not really a thing. They don't make a book on that, and nobody would read it anyway. And everything that people were tried, is wrong, because you can't describe grief. You can't describe that. Everyone's grief is different. You can't compare grief. I did that for the longest time. That's poisonous, right? Oh, I had a bad day. My boss looked at me the wrong way. I had a flat tire this morning. Oh yeah, a couple kids died. Yeah, but your problem is hard too, right? That's tough. Don't do that. I was there for a while. Where I compared everything to my own grief, and I fell. Feels like falling. There's a hole there, and it feels like you're falling into this chasm that is not great. It's not great. And then just with time, you learn to grow. I've said it a couple times, but you grow around your grief. You don't want it to go away. It doesn't go away. Okay. There's still a very sharp rock in my pocket, right? Almost like a sign, like, hey, dead kids, right? And you wear that sign around, and you feel like that's what everyone sees with you. And that's not good thinking. Because I'm still me, right? I'm a different me, right? And you get better or you get better. And over time, and with a lot of prayer, respectfully, and with a lot of, and it's, I said time, but it is with time. It was not fair, to go back to with faith. It was not fair. I was angry. It was during COVID time, right? So it was just my wife and I and 2 young kids. And that was tough. And, you don't come back the same way from either of those experiences. And I tried really hard, you name it. And I tried to cope that way, including a lot of the bad things. Right. I feel like I can say that, in the only thing that I wrestled with God, right? I wrestled with him. Okay. Like Jacob. No, not like Jacob, but it was very difficult. And I yelled and I asked the why, right? Why is this happening? Right. And still don't know, but because I want to be a dad so bad, right? That's what I'm here for. Be a good dad. And it can consume you in an unhealthy way, or you can allow that fire to consume you for positive, right? And you don't want it to ever happen to anyone. And I wanted it to be me, looking back on it, because I can do it, and I did it. We came back on the other side, and we're doing the things. I'm leading my family the best way I know how. And their message, they still carry on in our lives. They still carry on in a lot of people's lives. This is my wedding ring, obviously, and my girls are on this ring. I'm not a tattoo guy, but I wear this ring, and I think about my girls every day when I put it on. And I want to carry them on. And if there's anything that's good and positive and hopeful in anything that people see in me, it's because of that hardening from there. The good things that I had always been, I guess, are now coupled with this trauma and coupled with these incredible experiences that no one should go through. No parent should bury their children, right? Let alone twice. It doesn't compute. It doesn't compute that way. And the audacity of hope perseveres, right? I still am audacious and brash and daring enough to ask the questions like, oh, well, okay, here we go, right? What's next? And I'm honored to tell their story in the fact of how it changed me, and it changed Allison, and it changed this world. Their stories have changed this world. I believe that. I believe that. And the stories are similar, but one was, come out of the blue, and one was in the dark of COVID, and one was, it was just all different situations. But, doctors say, you probably should not carry this pregnancy on. And we just laughed at them. Right? We just laughed at them. That's how that's going to go. And we are,
when they said that, what did you think?
well, I mean, just because they're, they mean well,
Right.
They mean well. It was, these are non-viable pregnancies. Okay. So miracles happen all the time. And with Audrey, we thought we were going to get osteogenesis imperfecta type 3, type 3, but it turned into something much more different than that. Some type of skeletal dysplasia Stube-Weidemann syndrome is what it officially was called, which literally had, dozens of cases in the world. And we had one here for our girl. Yeah. So
how do you, as a husband and wife, what's that relationship look like? Because in a lot of, I don't know what the stats are, but it's, in a lot of cases when something like this happens and the loss of a child, it's obviously, it's going to go one of two ways, right? Yeah. It's either going to tear you apart or bring you closer together. So talk about that journey.
We're still on the journey. And I think that that's healthy. Everyone should get married with the expectation, if you choose to get married, if that's the path that is being led to you, you should try hard to improve every day, right? And marriage is a verb, right? It's not a noun, right? It's what you do. And you actively look at ways to improve what you're doing. And we struggled for a while. We did. I struggled for a while. She felt like she couldn't talk to me, and I felt like I couldn't talk to her. And just a lot of what you'd expect to see, I guess. But man, when you're living it, it's, what are we doing? And we chose to cling to each other in the darkest times. And there's still a lot that I'm sure we can improve, right? I'm sure there's a lot that probably has been left unsaid that shouldn't be unsaid, but we don't know about it yet, right? Everything is good because we chose marriage takes three, right? And you see that the triangle or the cord of three, right? Mm-hmm. Strain of three cannot easily be broken. We are interwoven in our Lord, and that's what's carried us through, truly. And I see even now ways that my wife just completely amazes me, that makes me fall in love with her again, and that's a good one. But it's we can't live in the past. No one can. Some people do, right? And we choose to go forward with that, carrying them in our daily lives, really. And that's really difficult to describe, to be honest with you. Whatever platform there is, whatever that story is that people have, right? That's our story, and that's my story, right? And our story is to share that none of this could have gone a lot of different ways, right? But because we ran to the Lord, we're okay. We're okay. And we will see them again. And that's that blessed assurance that I firmly believe with every fiber in my being. And I'm going to live my life to where I can see them again. And I'm going to tell their stories so that others can feel that, can feel that opportunity to, those guys have been through it and they're doing okay. What's their secret? My secret, there's no secret. The secret is my faith in Jesus Christ. That's where this is. And I lead with faith because she was my daughter, and I lead with Audrey Kate because she's my daughter, and the decision making that I have for this county, respectfully, is for all the kids, regardless of what they look like, regardless of where they were, right? And if they're adults now, they used to be kids in the county, right? these kids are the important things. And maybe in a grand scheme of things, Dan, the idea, I've always wanted to be a good dad, right? Be a good father. And I'm kind of shepherding a big flock of kids now. And I have all these kids in mind. And that's kind of where we're at. You just pulled that out of me. You're just staring at me. I'll tell you, that's good stuff. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, but that's really, maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe I'm doing that the right way because I think about all the kids I'm trying to shepherd, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
And you look at the things that they've been through. And he puts it in perspective of, yes, they've been through that. Like I've been through this. Like I've been through a lot of pain. Like you've been through more pain than I can ever imagine. I go back to Jude. Jude was born with underdeveloped lungs. And for his 2 first weeks, he was in the hospital. I remember wrestling with God when, he survived, but in the hospital, I remember just thinking like, God, like why? Like, why are you doing this with my first kid? Like, why am I here at Children's? And then, ended up talking to the parents next to us, and girl next to us had a detached esophagus, and they got flown in from Chicago to Cincinnati or to Dayton Children's. Yeah. And they've been there for like 4 months. And like that girl has a detached esophagus. Jude was fine. Like 2 weeks later, like we were out of the NICU, but like the pain, like Children's, like every time I go in there, like you think at first I went in there thinking like, man, why me? And then you look around all these other kids and you're thinking like, man, like I'm one of the blessed ones, And I know my feelings in there when I didn't know if Jude was going to be okay. And then going back in there with knowing that, the first, I can't imagine the second time going in there. Yeah. That's unbearable pain. And just the thing, but maybe that hardened you, like you said, to shepherd these kids, man,
I'll tell you, when we met there a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned that rock in your pocket. Mm-hmm. And the next morning I was running around town and I was thinking about our conversation because I quite honestly, I've known you a long time, but I didn't know any of this until we had this discussion. And I had a rock in my shoe.
Nice.
When I was running. And so all I thought about, and in fact, there were times I was running and I was crying because I was putting myself in your position. Obviously I can't, right? But just that feeling, knowing that, I have 5 healthy kids. And, unfortunately we did lose a child through a miscarriage. And so that's what I was thinking about was, you talk about carrying that rock in your pocket. And I had that rock in my shoe. And I thought, Mike carries this every day because he wants to keep them up front as part of his family. And it was such a profound moment for me that morning that, it really impacted me, this story. So, man, I appreciate your vulnerability and sharing everything that you did.
And that's part of it, man. You got to be vulnerable. It's easy to wall yourself up. And again, I struggle with that today. It's almost 2026 now, but it's been a while, right? And people, there's people, it's been long enough, right? Get back to who you used to be. It don't work that way. So I come across, I know, I come across a different way now. Okay. I'm not the happy, jovial, sunshine and rainbows fella that I was in high school, respectfully, and even in college. I'm not that guy anymore. I'm different. I have been changed. You saw Wicked. I have been changed for good. I
have not seen
nothing. Okay. All right. Never mind. All right. But no. And again, do I wish it would have been different? Of course. Of course. People need to see, if there is anything, right? Older song from Garth Brooks that doesn't get a lot of pub is The Change. Okay. I hear them saying, you will not change me. And no matter what you do, it's still the same thing. It's not the world that I am changing. I do this so this world will know that it will not change me, is the chorus line, right? Beautiful song. And songs are poetry, right? And I read poetry. So it's nice to catch that. But this world is so broken and it's so disgusting. It's if you look around at all the things that are bad and wrong, it will break your heart, right? And having the audacity to say that I choose to lean into my walk with Jesus, and I choose to I make an active choice to live in a manner that would be pleasing to him, but also to be pleasing to my kids, all of them. And if I can go that route, then we're doing something right. And if people see that, great. If one person sees it, that's what we're really after, right? It doesn't come without sacrifice. It doesn't come without a lot of men, a lot of women, a lot of people cheering you on. And a lot of times there's people that cheer you on that you never know, right? Those when people send up unspoken prayers, that's impactful. It is. It is. I believe that. And there's just so many people that want to help and they don't know how. So just be in prayer, right? Just be in silent meditation, be whatever it is that you feel the need to be, and just give people grace, right? That's a big part of life that I think people are starting to get. Hopefully people are starting to get, well, not just the way he is. Now, just give people grace. Just give people grace and come at it again. And don't stop. Don't stop trying, right? I think too many people, when things happen to them, right? They think, oh, this happened to me. No, nothing happened to you. Like if you think about the struggles and challenges, it's not that God doesn't equip you to conquer them. He equips you to handle the situation at hand, I suppose, right? Yeah. When David and Goliath were classic example, right? God didn't make David stronger. He got a slingshot. Okay. That's very different. Right. So those kind of things, I think I rambled a little bit there, but the idea of just finding the ways to improve your situation, certainly, but helping others improve their situations is where it's really at. Right. Cause if people say, and you just did it, you both did, I can't imagine. Good. I don't want you to. I don't want you to. I don't want you to. I want you to take whatever you're gleaning and impact it upon your daily life, right? And we are all going to be better in this world if we all help each other, if we serve with each other. That's where we're at. We got to be a community.
That's BeTempered.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what we're trying to do. And man, I appreciate it. You got anything else to add? No,
one thing, when you walked in, and obviously I didn't know your story before this podcast, but you said the holidays were rough.
They always are.
Yeah.
It's hard to, I don't have family pictures that are ever full.
Right.
Right. And I live with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We live with that. That's, there's always empty chairs at Thanksgiving, and there's empty chairs at Christmas, and birthdays. Kids' birthdays are hard. Father's Day's tough. Man, Father's Day's tough.
Yeah.
You get bitter or you get better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I struggled for a while, and I'm struggling less now. The rock in your pocket is it's still there. It's smoothing over a little bit. It is certainly something I'm not going to remove. That's a part of me. And I don't put on happy faces, right? I want to be in the moment for people, right? Especially other family members, right? Because I'm not going to sit and sulk, if as my kids, enjoying their Christmas morning,
mm-hmm.
right? That's what kind of father am I for that, right? But you could focus on what you don't have, or you could focus on what you do have. And I'm an incredibly blessed man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an incredibly blessed man.
And I think that combined with grace, right? Like you talk about grace, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, look at people, like if somebody has a bad attitude or something, or maybe they are sulking, maybe it's early on in their struggles they're dealing with, it just goes to show you, like, have grace. You don't know where that person's at, what they've gone through. Like I've seen you around the community many times and never realized,
Sure.
the burdens you're carrying. Like you don't know some of my burdens
Mm-hmm.
I've carried. We don't know Dan's. And, holidays are tough times. Maybe it's somebody else's tough time is another season of their life, but just carry grace.
Yeah.
Like that was powerful.
Yeah. And it's not, it's a quick adage, but it takes no effort to be kind.
Right.
It takes no effort to be kind. That doesn't mean you fake kindness, because I don't think you can fake kindness respectfully. I think you can fake a lot of things, but kindness is kindness. You can choose to be kind. You choose to do it.
Right.
And if there's someone that has given you a rough time, maybe they're going through something. Just be kind. We need more kindness out here.
That's right. We do.
Talk about changing the world. That's all.
I think so.
Just be kind.
I think so.
All right. Last question.
Sure.
If you could sit on a park bench and have a conversation with someone living or deceased, who would it be and why?
I thought about this one for a while. The easy answer is Jesus, right? And everyone, I think a lot of folks have said that on your podcast and way, shape, or form. And I would certainly love to, but I'm going to have that. I'm going to have eternity with my maker. And I'm going to ask him all the questions. But it's going to be that, it's going to be in the right context at that time. Because I don't need to know right now. I don't need to. Man, that's a tough one, right? You struggle with that. Why does this happen? I don't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I will know someday. I have that blessed assurance. That's going to be a thing. So many questions I'd like to ask. And certainly I'd love to have both my girls, right? And that's who I'd like to have one on each side of me, with all four of them though. I'd like to have Audrey and Faith, hanging out with me, with Miranda and Colleen and Allison, my wife, and the six of us just have great conversation about something. I don't care. What do you want to talk about? I don't care. So, and that's what I'd like to see, Dan. That's what I really like to see. And what we talk about, I'm not sure what we talk about.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't care. Yep, that's my answer to this question. And could they talk? I don't know. I don't know. We won't know. We'll know someday. And that would be a pretty cool park bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah. There's a lot, stories still being written.
Yeah. Right.
I think that's when people, there's no expectation of coming on a podcast and lighting the world on fire. There's no point to hammer down other than the fact of you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. And there were times where I didn't want to keep going. Right. And there's so much in this world that can make you want to not keep going. Right. Man, you are beautifully and wonderfully made. And for whatever reason, this is the path that we have to go. And I choose to keep going. Right. I choose to keep being what I think is trying to improve on the things, but also just the talents and skills that we have are not to be hidden. Okay. We are a light. Each one of us is a light, and lights are not meant to be hidden. Okay. So whatever people think or glean from this or from anything that I do for the rest of my life, glean the fact that I am a light and you're a light, and we all are lights, and we are not meant to be hidden. So whatever that looks like, be that light on this world is awfully important to me.
That's a great message. And our lights are made to shine.
Yeah, they are.
And, you're an amazing man, amazing father, amazing husband. And what I love about your whole story is just the vulnerability to not be afraid to share those moments where you were at your darkest, those moments where, it was tough for you and your wife, because that is real.
Yeah.
Right.
And so many, this is stuff that people don't talk about. Miscarriages certainly are things that people don't talk about. And it's a comfort thing, right? It's also I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. Just be kind. Mm-hmm. Right? People are uncomfortable going through, calling hours, right? There's a death right there, right? What do you say to the person? Just be kind. You don't got to say anything. Just be present, right? So much of this life, be kind and be present. Be kind to be present. Just be with people, right? We're gregarious people. Be with people. Share your story. Share other people's stories. Root them on from a distance. cry with them when they need to be cried with, hug them, love them, just be present. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. There's so much can be fixed, whatever fixing looks like. If you just be with people. Don't hold yourself up, man. Don't hold yourself up. There's a lot of things out there that the society says, hold yourself up. You can't do it. You're not good enough. You're best to just be the version of you on social media because that you're projecting the best parts, right? That's who you should be. Man, just be out there. Warts and all.
Be present.
Yeah, warts and all.
Yep. That's amazing, man. Thank you again for coming up here and sharing that story. And we'll continue to lift you and your family up in our prayers for, just continued peace and healing and to keep taking that step. That's, that's our motto. I mean, this is BeTempered. You are BeTempered. And
I've been listening to you for a little bit. So yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be on your podcast. I'm happy that you asked me.
Yeah.
And I can't say I was waiting for it, but I was hoping that someday you would ask me to come on here so that we could share this. Yeah. It's
amazing story. And I think the overriding message is just to be kind, without a doubt. So thank you again, everybody. We continue to say thank you for your ears and your support and all those things that you're doing to keep this BeTempered movement going. So go out and be tempered.
Hi, my name is Allie Schmidt. This is my dad, Dan. He owns Caitlin's Glass.
Thanks, Allie. Things like doors and windows go into making a house. But when it's your home, you expect more, like the great service and selection you'll get from Caitlin's Glass. Vinyl replacement windows from Caitlin's come with a lifetime warranty, including accidental glass breakage replacement. Also ask for custom shower doors and many other products and services. Call 962-1636, locally owned with local employees for nearly 30 years.
Caitlin's Glass, the clear choice.
I want to share something that's become a big part of the BeTempered mission, Patreon. Now, if you've never used it before, Patreon is a platform where we can build community together. It's not just about supporting the podcast. It's about having a space where we can connect on a deeper level, encourage one another, and walk this journey of faith, resilience, and perseverance side by side. Here's how it works. You can join as a free member and get access to daily posts, behind-the-scenes updates, encouragement, and some things I don't always put out on other platforms. And if you feel called to support the mission financially, there are different levels where you can do that too. That support helps us keep producing the podcast, creating gear, hosting events, and sharing stories that we believe can truly impact lives. And here's the cool part. Patreon has a free app you can download right on your phone. It works just like Facebook or Instagram, but it's built specifically for our community. You'll be able to scroll through posts, watch videos, listen to content, and interact with others who are on the same journey. At the end of the day, this isn't just about content, it's about connection. It's about building something together, not just me and Ben putting out episodes, but a family of people committed to growing stronger through real stories and real faith. So whether you just want to hop on as a free member or you feel called to support in a bigger way, Patreon is the door into that community. Because at the heart of BeTempered has always been simple, real stories, raw truth, resilient faith, so that even one person out there that hears what they need to hear, and Patreon helps make that possible.